All right, here we go. Today we have Justin Fields action. He's got a second pro day today. We'll tell you all about that. We have some other big NFL news and then a devastating NBA injury. Let's get into it.
This is real life, little home, that's why I stayed down. I done came up off that boy, look what I made now.
All right, so let's start in the NFL there. Justin Fields, he had his first pro day. Many people or many teams didn't go to it because they went to Alabama's pro day, which got people talking about how these teams weren't looking at Justin Fields and they were looking at Alabama's quarterback and other players and everything. So Mac Jones. But they said Justin Fields' team came out and they said they've been planning on this the whole time. They were planning on doing a second pro day. Teams that are going to be at it, the Niners, Patriots, Falcons, Jets, Broncos. So big news there. I think a pro day is stupid if you are if that's going to be your deciding factor in taking somebody because you have tons of tape. Like watch them playing big games. That should be what gives you the, oh, okay, yeah, they can do this. A pro day should really show you, can they make throws that, do they have arm strength to make throws that you need to make in the NFL? You know, they always talk about the 15-yard out to the opposite hash is supposed to be the, oh my gosh, he's got the arm. Like, that's the most difficult throw to make in the NFL because if you lag on it at all, a corner will break on it and take it to the house. So it's more of a, hey, run that route, show me that you have the arm strength to do it. But as far as being able to make it under pressure and everything, you can't see that in a pro day. It's all about what you did during the season. So I think pro days are overrated. They're fun to watch. I'm definitely going to watch this one today with Justin Fields. So I guess we'll see what effect it has on these teams. And it's interesting that the Jets are going to be there. They were I don't know if they're a last second ad or we just didn't find out about them until yesterday. But the Jets being there is a big point of conversation. It seems to Vegas and the rest of the world like they've already picked Zach Wilson. So maybe this changes their mind. My guess is it's more of just hey, we want to cover our cards a little bit. We don't want people to know 100% that we're going to take Zach Wilson. We'd like them have to think through, oh, what if we take Justin Fields because we're going to their pro day? So that's my guess, but who knows? Next, Julian Edelman retired, the Patriots legend wide receiver. After 12 seasons, he's finally retired. Apparently, he failed his physical, and so the Patriots had to cut him, and he just decided, okay, now is the time to retire. He is kind of a legend because of his background. He went to Kent State, was a quarterback at Kent State, came to the NFL, switched to receiver, and has just been the Patriots' most reliable person, or Tom Brady's most reliable person at the very least, over the last 12 seasons. So definitely a legend. He had maybe the most clutch catch of all time in the Super Bowl against the Falcons, that one where he caught the ball and then it came out and he's diving and there's a bunch of Falcons all intertwined within him. And so he catches it and then his hands come off for a second and the ball drops and it gets this close from the ground. And it they had to review it a million times to see did that touch the ground? It was so close. And then he hung on to it and made the catch. So maybe the most clutch catch of all time that led the Patriots to their huge comeback win in the Super Bowl against the Falcons. But good luck to Julian Edelman. He'll definitely be missed. And immediately Bill Belichick and Tom Brady both came out with basically Valentines for Julian Edelman, talking about how much they loved him and how great of a teammate and person to coach he had been. So that's the Julian Edelman news. Next, James Conner, the former Pittsburgh Steelers running back, who he had his big breakout year that Le'Veon Bell decided to sit out the whole season. Last year and the last couple of years have been a little bit down from, not a little, quite a bit down from then. But he signed with the Cardinals yesterday, so he's moving off there. I guess we'll see what that does to their offense. They're starting to get, they look like a really special team now. Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, James Conner, you got JJ Watt on the other side, like, and other big names on the Cardinals. So they could put something together and be something pretty special. So that is your little bit of college football, but really NFL update. Now let's go look at the NBA. The real talk of the NBA was the devastating injury of Jamal Murray, the Denver Nuggets guard and star. He tore his ACL, and so that really got people talking about, we have had a lot of injuries this year. It's normally like an 82 game schedule, but this year it's a 72 game schedule that's crammed into a shorter period of time. And so people are talking about all of the different injuries that have occurred. Some just a few names to read off. So Jamal Murray got hurt. LeBron has been hurt. Anthony Davis has been hurt. Joel Embiid has been hurt, healthy, hurt. He's been going through the cycle. James Harden's been hurt. LaMelo Ball is out. Kevin Durant is, his was more from last season or 2 seasons ago, but he like it's been hard for him to get back into everything. So there's that. Kyrie Irving hasn't been hurt, but at least like mentally exhausted. He's had to take his son to like personal days. I don't know if you can blame that on what's going on in the world or if you blame it on the season, but it's definitely having an impact on these players, either physically or mentally. But let's take a look at Kevin Durant. So I mentioned Kevin Durant there, but I want to take a look here at the beef Kevin Durant got in with Shannon Sharpe. So Shannon Sharpe is on a sports show on Fox. He is a huge LeBron lover. Like, he loves everything about LeBron. LeBron does nothing wrong in his mind. I'm kind of a LeBron guy myself. Like, I got him over Jordan in that debate, but I definitely don't think LeBron is perfect. Shannon Sharpe thinks LeBron does no wrong. But he got into the beef today or yesterday with Kevin Durant. I'm going to show it to you here. So let's get into it. So right here, this is just the Busy Fan Twitter. I just retweeted a bunch of that beef so that we could look at it together. Those of you who are on the podcast, I'll explain it to you. But anyone on the video, here it is. So it started with this post here. So this is a post from a fake Kevin Durant Twitter account. It says, people try to discredit my rings, but honestly, I feel like they're the most vulnerable or the most valuable of our area. People argue LeBron is the GOAT, but if I beat him in back-to-back finals, then what does that make me? So basically, this is a fake Kevin Durant or a fake quote attributed to Kevin Durant, making it seem like, oh, I'm obviously the GOAT because I've beaten LeBron and people think he's the GOAT. But it wasn't even true. Like, that, he didn't even say that. But Shannon Sharpe on his show went and he was talking to Skip about it, saying, hey, like, basically saying Kevin Durant doesn't know what he's talking about and all this stuff. So Kevin Durant tweets at Shannon Sharpe, says, y'all drunk uncle out there lying again. When did I say this, Shannon Sharpe? Because he never said it. And so Shannon went on this big thing about how stupid and irresponsible it was. And Kevin Durant's like, I didn't say it. It's not stupid or irresponsible because I didn't do it. And then, so Kevin says, Shannon went on TV responding to this quote like I actually said this. Gullible fans will believe it or say, you was thinking this anyway. It's comedy at this point. Then they went back and forth a little bit, and Shannon ended up blocking Kevin Durant, and Kevin tweeted the picture of him being blocked and said, but I'm sensitive, after Shannon blocked him, looking like Shannon was the one who was actually sensitive. And then Shannon was getting a ton of crap from people saying, why would you block him? Like, you can't handle any of this. And Shannon said, I'm not gangsta, but I'm not going back and forth with KD and lose my job either. I've had disagreements with other people before, but we handle it like adults and moved on. Adults in capital letters. So super funny there. Big beef going on. We'll see what happens with that on Shannon's show today. I'm sure he has to respond to it. And it's basically going to be like Kevin Durant is sensitive. He always comes back at people like this, but this is funny because he didn't do anything. He's just sitting there. Then Shannon starts destroying him for this fake quote that he never actually said. And he was upset about it, which I think is reasonable. Like, if you didn't say it, then don't attribute it to him. But anyway, that's your news for today. That's what's going on. And thanks for being a busy fan.